I just miss them so much, It's like every time I see it, I can't help but think about them. Oh, hey guys. Oh, I didn't see you there. Friends, it's so good to be with you. And I hope you all are doing very well. You've been in my prayers. Um, it's crazy times that we're living in right now. And I just want you to know that I'm praying for you. And I do wish that I could be with you like we had planned through this entire year. But sometimes life turns out a little bit differently than we expect. And the beautiful thing about our faith is that life with Christ really is a wonderful adventure. We never know where it's going to take us, but we can trust that the Lord is in control. He has this in his hands and he's leading us ever closer to him. I was so grateful to Father Al and Father Kenny for letting me be able to share a video with you on this stay-at-home retreat. And I just wanted to offer a few words about a particular character within the crucifixion narrative of Jesus. And that certain someone is St Simon of Cyrene. Now we hear about St Simon very briefly. A lot of the Gospels just share one verse about him. And I think there's a couple of things, first of all, that stick out about St. Simon. First of all, Cyrene was a small town in northern Africa. There's nothing too special about it. And a lot of scholars actually say that St. Simon would have migrated with his family perhaps up to Jerusalem and would have been a farmer. He wouldn't have made that much money. He would have been rather poor and had to support his two sons and his wife. So as he's passing by, he's seeing what looks to be a criminal carrying this cross. He has nothing to do with him at all. And he's pulled over by the guards without even being asked. And he's commanded to help carry the cross of Jesus. St. Simon helped Jesus carry his cross to Calvary. He helped him complete his mission to die on this cross and ultimately 3 days later rise from the dead. But I can only imagine, I just was praying about this, as Simon is forced to help who he initially thinks is a criminal. He puts this cross on his shoulders and he feels the weight of it and he feels it digging into his shoulders. And he looks at this man in front of him and all he sees is just the blood and the sweat and the tears that are pouring down this man's face and his back and his shoulders having been beaten and scourged. And as they progress further and further down this road, Simon's heart begins to change. There's a couple of things that we can take away from this. First of all, we are called to take up our cross and follow after Jesus. That is the way to sainthood. That's the way that we are all called to be saints. St. Simon literally took up his cross and followed after Jesus. After Jesus' death, we hear that St. Simon and his family were actually some of the first converts to Christianity. That this encounter with Jesus was something that radically changed Simon to the point that he wanted to become a follower of Jesus. And that's why we call him St. Simon of Cyrene, because he let an encounter with the cross change who he was. But he was someone who realized that as he was carrying this cross, Jesus was right there in front of him this whole time. We can apply that to our own lives too. Right now, we have this burden, we have this cross, the fear and the anxiety of the coronavirus. And perhaps we do feel this fearfulness and this anxiety of everything so uncertain and unstable. But what St. Simon teaches us on this way of the cross is that we are never alone. In fact, it's Jesus who is always carrying the cross. He's carrying the cross before us, and all we have to do is pick it up behind him and carry this gentle and easy burden as Jesus paves the way and goes before us. We're just following him. Jesus is there the whole time, and my friends, he loves you so much. He loves you dearly. And I pray that as you enter into this Holy Week, you can experience the love of Jesus just as St. Simon did. Let it change your hearts. The second thing that St. Simon teaches us is that we are called to help Jesus. Now, Jesus appears in many different ways here and now. Again, with the fear and the anxiety of coronavirus, we've been forced to stay at home. I'm here in South Bend, Indiana. Who would have thought? But something I've been trying to do is help out around home, clean the dishes and talk with my parents and have good conversations and read good books. I've also thought about writing a letter too, writing a letter to my grandparents or to a nursing home, a lot of these people who don't have visitors right now. I'd encourage you guys to do the same. Find ways that you can help and serve Jesus by helping and serving those around us who are lonely or scared or fearful in any way. And as we enter into this Holy Week, I pray that this can be such a grace-filled time for you. Never forget the love that God has, this love that is poured out on a cross on Calvary 2,000 years ago, is here and alive and present today, even in the midst of situations like what we're experiencing. God never abandons us. He's with us every step of the way. We follow him, we follow Jesus as we pick up that cross and we put it on our shoulders. Jesus turns around to us and he says, "Be not afraid. Be not afraid." My friends, I will be praying for you. Please pray for me. And I hope to see you again very soon.